Bowler's coming at it. Bowler over on the far side. Bowler just in front. Rockin' Horse is in for the fight. Bowler and Rockin' Horse, they hit it. Bowler.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Final Gallop. It is episode 304 and is proudly supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. This week we are going to preview our runners for Saturday's Country Music Raceday at Doomben, as well as Freedom Rally in the Group 2 Tramway Stakes at Randwick. Morning, Tony. Some good performers last Saturday with Black Max winning at Doomben and Natuno another group placing at Caulfield.
Yeah, good morning, Claire. Good morning, everyone. It was a pretty good weekend last weekend. It was a very bleak and really Melbourne day down there at Caulfield. The weather was changing every half hour, but the horses raced as a whole, raced quite well. So yeah, Natuno got a placing in, obviously in a solid group race.
Yes.
Antino ran really well in the Memsey, run fourth, obviously looking for Flemington, and the two mares were good. Comrade Rosa got a little bit agitated in the gate, which is a bit unusual for her, whether it was the weather or not playing part there. And Wallenby was the best of things beaten. Here in Brisbane, Black Maxi was the star of the show. Well ridden by Emily Lang, did a good job, positive ride out, got across and he held him off. And he's a good example of a horse who's loving getting back on these good tracks, really good track, which is hopefully what we're going to get now for the next period here coming into spring.
Okay, and going back to the Caulfield runners, what is in store for those ones?
Well, the mares, Natuno will have a short break. I'll start with him. He'll have a short break and he'll come back here for the summer. I just didn't know where he fitted in the whole spring picture. I thought he'd be a really nice summer carnival horse here, and obviously Imagine Millions big carrot at the end of it, and you probably see him back in Melbourne, I think in the autumn next year. So a bit of a long range plan with him. The others, the two mares, will go to a mares race at Flemington. Okay. I think it's called the Let's Elope. And Antino goes to the Mackay Diva, which is going to be a hell of a race in 2 weeks. A really strong rendition of that event. So looking forward to Flemington, the big open stretches for those three horses that are down there.
Okay. This week, before we get into our preview, we just have our latest promotion for the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. The prize is a night's accommodation for two at the Ibis Brisbane Airport, including buffet breakfast at the Crib Island Beach Club and a midday checkout. To enter, head to our Facebook page, look for this week's post about the Final Gallop, click on the link that we provide and you can enter your details to go into the draw, and the winner will be announced on next week's show. Okay, let's jump into our preview. Firstly, the City Tattersalls Club race day at Randwick on Saturday. The rail is in the 6 metre position. The track is currently a good 4 with sunny days ahead. We have our runner there, Freedom Rally, in race 9, which is the Group 2 Tramway Stakes over the 1400 metres. He'll carry 55 kilos. Craig Williams will ride barrier 7. He's paying $5.50 to win and $1.95 for the place. He's first up for the spring after rounding out his last preparation, winning the listed Wayne Wilson Mile. He did look very good in a 1,000 metre trial at Doomben last week. Yeah,
he's been good. I've had a good prep with him. He had a short let up off the winter. Heads very much into this race, similar to the prep that Antino had into the Memsey. Probably a little touch further forward because he had the two jump out and trial. And the float trip down. He arrived in Sydney this morning. Everything's gone smooth sailing so far, which is good. He presents in good order in what is a really good little race, this race. Craig Williams really keen to get on him. He rode him in the winter. I think if he finds a lovely spot somewhere just on the back of the speed, he should race really well. But it's a bit of a sign of how strong this spring carnival is going to be. It's a strong tramway. Yeah. It's a good race. But I guess if we're realistic of him, if we're hopeful he's an Epsom horse, if we're realistic of that, then he's got to run well here.
Okay, fair enough. Now on to our preview of the runners at Doomben on Saturday. The rail goes back into the 1 metre position from 5 metres last week. The track's currently a soft 6 with fine days ahead. What are your thoughts on the track?
I'm very unsure how it's a soft 6. I don't know. We haven't had any rain, so it must be just from irrigation. We had really warm weather last week and it dried out and got very leaderish, which I thought it might. Back into the 1 metre position. It should race fairly fair. It's just a bit cooler week this week, so I think you'll see a little bit fairer track than what we've seen. I think we're getting that really warm weather quite quickly at the end of winter. The track can dry out because you're still watering it like it's a winter track. So it should present in good order. I mean, look at the grass and everything around the place at the moment. You can tell spring's upon us. The weather has just cooled down a touch this week. The track should race really well.
Okay, we start in race 2, which is the benchmark 70 handicap over the 1350. We have 3 runners in this. We'll start with Set to Shine. She'll carry 57 kilos with Emily Lang's 3 kilo claim. She's drawn barrier 2. She's paying $5 to win at the moment and $2 for the place. She was scratched from last week and she finds a much better draw here. In very good form this preparation and does like this track.
Going great, isn't she? You know, since we stepped her out past 1200 to the 1350, she's just been super. She races up on speed. There's not a whole lot of speed here. She probably should control. I think Emily's claims gets her in pretty well. Angie's been riding her beautifully, but 60 kilos on her back. She was just starting to get up there in this grade, so we brought her back to 57. Well placed, ridden forward, tough filly. You know, I think she'll race really well.
Okay, second runner we have is Dramatica. She'll carry 58.5 kilos. Angela Jones will ride her. She's drawn barrier 3. Dramatica's eating some hay at the back of the box there. She is third up on Saturday and usually gets better into her preparation. She ran into all sorts of trouble last start and will be riding this with a bit more luck.
She was a really good run the other day and I thought she was a touch pretty going into it. She's definitely better for that run. Up to 1350 now for low draw. She'll just get a perfect run behind them. Well weighted, well placed. She's certainly there to run well. She's a far better chance than her odds suggest.
Okay. Castilian is the next one. He'll carry 58 kilos. Ryan Maloney rides barrier 7. At the moment he's paying $6.50 to win and $2.40 for the place. Massive second up run last start at this track and trip. When he tried to come the long way round, he is right up to this, you'd think.
Yeah, both runs have been really, really good. And I'm pleased with him. The cooler weather has come this week. Want a little bit more sting out of the ground, which suits him. He's early in the program, which is also a plus. He's been luckless. Both runs here have been really, really good. You know, if she's to be beaten, Set to Shine, I think he's the horse that can present. He's improved sharply. His work's been very, very good. And I think where I've got him right now is as good as I'll get him. So
Set to Shine on top?
I've got a sneaky liking for Castilian here each way. I think he's a really good chance. But Set to Shine, she's hard to go past because 2 of them went past her the other day. She still kicked back and won. She's got a lot of tenacity about herself at the moment. But Castilian just feels like he's warming to the task.
Okay. We go to race 3, which is the Class 3 plate over the 1110 metres, another race where we have 3 runners. We'll kick off with Devastating. He'll carry 57 kilos using Emily Lang's 3 kilo claim. Devastating's drawn barrier 3. He's paying $11 to win at the moment and $3.20 for the place. Also scratched from last week due to the barrier and gets a better draw here. Very good second up form and did run home really well first up. Yeah, good ground, speed on, all suits him. We had to go back a fair way at Sunny Coast on an unsuitable track. Finished off beautifully. This suits him. You know, he'll race on the back of the speed. They'll run along. He'll just sit behind them, sort of midfieldish, and be good to the line. He's going very good, this horse. Really well placed. Okay, next one is Simbu. He'll carry 60 kilos. Angela Jones in the saddle, barrier 9. Simbu's paying $17 to win and $4.40 for the place. It was a pretty good win first up before being stuck 3 wide with no cover last start, and does have a similar draw to contend with, but we'll be aiming for a better spot in transit. Yeah, a little bit better draw, but we want to try and utilise his early speed. He got his tongue over the bridle too at Sunshine Coast. We've fitted a tongue control bit to him. He's adapting to it quite well. Okay. He works very good. He looks really good, this horse. He's improved out of sight from that last run physically. So, look, I'm happy with him. I don't know why he's those odds. I thought he should be shorter than that. The other day he was a lot shorter at Sunshine Coast on what I thought was unsuitable ground. I think good tracks suit him much better. You'll see him race very well. Okay, third runner is Instagood. She'll carry 56.5 kilos. Jimmy Orman rides barrier 5. She's paying $12 to win at the moment and $3.40 for the place. She's first up on Saturday and is coming off a nice 1,000-metre trial win at Doomben last week. Trial very good the other day, really well. She's prepped up beautifully. She just feels a lot better in action. Everything about her, this prep feels better. She was always a bit jarry and sort of stabby going filly. This time her action's fluent and moving well, so she's maturing and really coping with the workload. Okay, that's good. She maps very similar to Devastating. She's a horse that wants to just find her feet a bit and run on, and with the amount of tempo in here, provided we get a fair service, but I think we will back at that 1 metre rail, she's one of those horses that'll be midfield closing late. So good bunch of horses to have in there. Yeah. Off their runs at the Sunshine Coast and Instagood still being fresh up, I'm probably going to lean Devastating's way, but I can't understand Simbu's quote. Yeah. Pretty sharp horse, Simbu. Race 4 is the benchmark 78 handicap over 1,200 metres. We have 2 in this race. We'll start with Daytona, 60 kilos. Ryan Maloney rides barrier 4. He's paying $3.40 to win and $1.60 for the place. He's in good form after a fast finishing second 2 starts ago, and then he pounced late to nab win last start at the same track and trip.
Yeah, look, his racing pattern's that sort of horse where he's going to have a few hard luck stories, isn't he? He's got to find his feet and run on. I thought he was great the other day. He just relaxed straight away for Ryan, which is what we wanted to see, and his finish was great. And he got over the top of Brereton, who arguably should have won the Open last week. Yeah. So he's up in the weight, 60 kilos, but he's a good horse. Maloney suits him. The low draw suits him. We won't get suckered into that being close because we've drawn low, but he should be midfield off that low draw. As long as he relaxes, beautiful on the back of the speed, midfield, he can certainly come with the big bounds. He's a horse that's going particularly well. Okay, next one is I See You Coming, 57.5 kilos, Angela Jones. Rides barrier 3. He's paying $5 to win and $2 for the place. He won for Ange 2 starts ago at the same track and trip. Loomed to win last start out to the 1350, but the trip told late on the heavy track. You've put the blinkers back on. Yeah, well, I think this is the key to him, isn't it? You know, putting the shades on him back in trip 1200. He was there to win the other day and he just got worried out of it. Yeah. Horses got around him and he just sucked back out late. So the hood really focuses him up. His work in him has been terrific. His good track form had been a bit ordinary until he got here, then he won on the good track. So I got no issues with it. I'd like him back at 1200. I think he's the horse Daytona's got to beat. I think if he can posse up, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere like that, just behind him with a bit of cover in the shades, he'll sprint really, really quickly back to 1200 with blinkers on. So I think it's a key gear change. Yeah. I'm going to sit on the fence in this one. Okay. I like both horses, and particularly a horse like this, blinkers first time, I can see him improving significantly. Okay. Race 7 is the cutest 3-year-old handicap over the 1110 metres. Tipsy Tiger runs, 52 kilos, Angela Jones. Rides her from barrier 7. She's paying $12 to win and $3 for the place. She's graduating to city grade after a win on debut at Ipswich and then a second at Kilcoy last start, behind a filly that she will face again on Saturday. Yeah, I'd be a bit forgiving in Kilcoy. Kilcoy's that unique little Moonee Valley of the North sort of track. They get out and get going, and she never really got the travel what you like. I like her back to 1100. I like her at home. The jury's out whether she's up to Saturday grade yet. But look, she's fit and healthy. She deserves to have a run for this cutest prize money. Yep. I'm not fully sold, particularly off what I saw at Kilcoy, but it's iffy track, whether she's up to Saturday grade. So I'm going to sit on the fence with her. Okay. Race 8 is the open handicap over the 1350 metres. We have Rockribbed running, 55 kilos with Emily Lang's 3 kilo claim. Rockribbed's drawn barrier 11 and he is paying $4.60 to win and $1.90 for the place. Going for 3 wins in a row on Saturday. His past 2 wins were at the same track and trip, up to open grade, but also has the challenge of a double figure barrier. Yeah, I don't mind that for him, but good starting point, the 1350. Because of horses like him that roll up on speed. The leader's already, the horse that we thought would lead has come out of the race already. He takes up play here, he either leads or he sits outside lead. He's going to be handy. He's going very, very well. I love him at this grade. With the claim, he just seems to keep on getting in well at the weights. So the gate doesn't concern me. What does concern me if the track firms up a bit, I do think he's a little bit better with his toe in the ground a touch. Yep. But he couldn't be going much better, this horse. And he's a right horse for this grade. So really happy with him. I think he's exceptionally hard to beat. Okay. We are into the final furlong of this week's Final Gallop. Who do you think are best winning chances at either Randwick or Doomben on Saturday? Well, in a strong team of horse, I think we're 3 pre-post favourites already in the Doomben meeting. I'm going to stick with Rockribbed. He hasn't served me wrong. I'm happy with the way that he's going, and I love the way he's working and how he presents. So I'm going to stick with him as my best again on Saturday. Okay, your best each way chance? I think we've got a few good each way chances on the day, and that's not to say that some of the others won't win, but I love Freedom Rally each way at Randwick, and I love Castilian each way, and that's not leaving out things like Devastating, etc. So I think, overall, really nice team of horses in this weekend. And your best at the provincials over the weekend? We've got a spread between the Gold Coast, back on the grass down there. Hallelujah, can't wait for that. Times back to how they should be. And up at Toowoomba, there's a few there as well. We've got a few split over the maidens. I really like this filly, blinkers tongue tie on. I think 2 key gear changes for Morganite. I think she can run really well wherever I take her. Depending on the maidens, and fields aren't out yet, and they're very open because the Gold Coast got only 10 runners, 6 races, so it's a very soft intro to the grass there. So we've got a few good chances throughout at both venues. I think pay to follow me in the maidens. Okay. Your best track worker this week? I love Freedom Rally's work before he went away. He wasn't out there to break the clock at all because obviously he had a 11 and a bit hour float trip down to Warwick Farm overnight last night. But I love the way he worked, his stride length, everything about him indicates he's right where he was in the winter. And that winter form, the way he raced in the winter, is good enough to run well in the Tramway. So Freedom Rally for me is the one I particularly liked.
And your winner for the week?
My winner for the week, Black Max was the obvious one. He won in town, the Saturday winner. But I got a lot of thrill there, winning Hearts of Racing, winning for Jenny Acton and the family up there in the Acton family colours. So we've been a while between drinks, winning a race for them, and I was getting as frustrated as them. So for me, it'll be Hearts of Racing, and for Jenny and the team and all the family there. That was pretty special.
It was. Okay, now it is time for Cav's Corner, which is supported by the Brisbane Airport Hotels Group. He landed the second leg of his multi last week with Pink Thunder winning in Toowoomba, but unfortunately Johnny Rambo was only third in his first leg, which he took him for the win, so that doesn't count. I'm tipping he goes back to his place multi this week and try and get some money back in his bank. Let's see what he's got for us.
Welcome to Cav's Corner for this week. One leg last week, but there was a little bit of value in that one leg. This week we'll venture to Doomben. We'll go Dramatica a place into I See You Coming a win. Good punting, guys.
So I was wrong. He's gone Dramatica a place into I See You Coming a win. So he's gone place win.
Yeah, he has. Dramatica's over the odds, that's why. She's really, her run was good the other day because she was pretty and chubby and then off a mini setback off getting back from Rocky. So she's improved sharply. I don't mind that. I don't mind that Mouldy at all. I think we've got a very good chance of winning that race in particular. So, no, I like his Mouldy, Cav. I think it's a pretty good Mouldy, and I see you come with the blinkers on, but you don't want to see big Daytona coming down the outside. He's flying that horse, so we'll see how it plays out.
Okay, well, good luck on Saturday, Tony. Back on the plane this time to Sydney with a strong team of runners back here at Doomben. Yeah,
well, first of all, we'll go down and look at the horses in Melbourne, work on Saturday morning, have a good look at them. I'm really happy with how they've come through the run so far. Then off to Sydney for Freedom Rally. And I hope everyone here comes and enjoys this Country Music Raceday. I wish I was here because it is one of the funnest race days of the year here. The club put a lot of effort into it, a lot of country music performance here. I love country music, so that's why I'm disappointed I'm not here.
Yeah, it's always playing in the office.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It's got a lot of good country music performers here. It's going to be a really good day. So if you are in Brisbane, get out there. And a quick shout out, this is a bit impromptu, this mob for fueling us with coffee. They're outstanding, brass. Just around the corner.
Okay. Well, best of luck to everyone all over the whole weekend.